David Morell versus Hot Rod Kalajdzic. 12 rounds in the 175-pound division. Let's get into it, man. Let's start with both of these guys' record. David Morell, 10 wins, no losses, 9 wins by way of knockout. Hot Rod, 29 wins, 2 losses, 21 wins by way of knockout. So Morell has been campaigning at 168 pounds for really all of his fights, with the exception of this one. He's moving up to 175. We don't know for how long, probably just one fight, because we know that he is interested in fighting David Benavidez. And he seems to be chasing David Benavidez to make his case why they need to fight at some point. Because we know David Benavidez went up to 175, performed well, and he's going to be looking to do the same. I hope Morell isn't looking past Hot Rod Kalajdzic because he can fight. His losses came from when he fought Artur Beterbiev, and he lost a split decision victory against Marcus Brown, a fight that probably should have won that fight. But nonetheless, we digress and we move forward. When Hot Rod fought Beterbiev, man, the first shot that Beterbiev came with was a power shot, the left hand that landed flush on the chin of Hot Rod, and it looked like Hot Rod was ready to go down at any moment. And from that shot, the tone was set. The tone was different from that jump. Now, Kalajdzic is long, he's rangy, and he likes to fight on the outside. He's got a good jab, good power, and he's got a calm demeanor about him. Now, you know who else has got that same calm demeanor? His opponent, David Morell. He's got the same demeanor. He moves like a lightweight, but he's just a big man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he moves like the lighter guys in the 135-pound 40 division, but he's got more. He's got more power. So when you watch David Morell, you obviously see the size, but then you see the speed, you see the strength, you see the knockout power, you see the great combinations, and he doesn't get as much credit for how good that he is defensively from what we've seen thus far. He's, to this point, it's got the complete package. Now, we haven't seen him be fully battle tested yet, so there are some question marks that we are going to see in time. Will it be answered? And this could be one of those fights. But so far, he's proven and shown, yeah, this guy's the goods, man. He's got the goods and the makings to be a future champion down the road. And so I think this is a step-up fight for him against Hot Rod. Not to mention, he's moving up a division to fight Hot Rod, he campaigns in this division. So it's going to be very interesting to see some of the challenges that is going to be answered and he's going to have to face for both men in this fight. There were 2 fights of David Morell that I thought were going to be more of a challenge in different ways. Like when he fought Yamaguchi Falco, thought that was going to be interesting. Not that I thought Falco was going to win, but Falco, he's got a really good amateur pedigree, Olympics silver medalist, I believe, in 2012. And to that point in the professional scene, he's done pretty good for himself, man. And I wanted to see how well David Morell was going to be cutting off the ring against a guy who's a pretty good boxer. And that fight didn't even last 2 rounds. It didn't even last 2 rounds. It ended in the first round. Morell caught him with some shots early in the fight that made me say, like, wait a minute, what? Like, that shot didn't even look like it was very hard. It didn't look like it connected cleanly, but clearly David Morell must be a little bit more heavy-handed than he looks. I thought was going to be a small challenge, was no challenge at all. The other one was when he fought Sena Ajigbeko in his most recent fight. It wasn't the fact that I thought Morell was going to lose the fight. Matter of fact, I believe I picked David Morell to win the fight by stoppage, but I wanted to see how he would fare against a physical, strong opponent. Ajigbeko is a strong fighter, man. He's raw. Yeah, he's got some rawness to him, but he's a physically strong guy and could pose a little bit of physical threat to David Morell. And that fight did not last long either. Morell closed out the show in 3 rounds. Every time David Morell fights and lets his hands go, man, his opponents feel it and they don't know what to do when they feel it like that. It does damage every time that his shots land. He's got that one-shot knockout type of power. I mentioned the heavy-handedness, man. And this is a guy that when he's got his opponents hurt, man, like he knows how to close out the show. Those shots that he landed on Akeemkhaynes against the ropes when he was on the corner, it was left shot to the body, right shot to the head, left shot to the head. And even though Akeemkhaynes had his high guard up, the high guard didn't do nothing to help his case because he got punished and punished with some heavy punches, man. He had Akeemkhaynes hurt, and I'm glad it stopped the fight. It was getting really ugly, man. So you got your hands full when you're fighting a guy like David Morell, who doesn't just have power. He's got speed, man, timing and accuracy. Now, Kalajdzic, man, is no stranger to facing big punchers. I touched on it earlier when he fought Artur Beterbiev, man. In an interview, he said, man, if I can weather the early part of the start of that fight, I think I'm going to be okay, because he figured Beterbiev was going to come out very fast in that fight. And that's exactly what happened. Beterbiev came out fast, let his hands go. Yeah, he was right about what he said, but the only issue was he forgot to not let those shots hit him, because Beterbiev was landing early, closed the gap early. And we know what type of hands that man has in these fists, man. They're punishing, bone-crushing shots, thudding shots when Beterbiev lets his hands go. But Hot Rod, man, he was kind of doing his thing a little bit, letting off his combinations, using his jab, letting some nice uppercuts. He was trying to respond to what Beterbiev was doing. He had the uppercut there a couple times against Beterbiev. I think once he got knocked down the first time, that's when he kind of threw discipline out of the woodworks and just fought on emotion and instinct. He got suckered into fighting Artur Beterbiev's style and what Artur Beterbiev wanted him to do. You know, you got to box Artur Beterbiev, man. You don't want to brawl with this guy, right? And Hot Rod just decided to brawl, got dropped in the third, and then it was just downhill from that. Every shot that Beterbiev landed, you could see Hot Rod's legs was wobbling and he was falling over himself. It just was not a good look. He did not have an answer for anything Beterbiev was doing. And even when he did not want to fully commit to it, because he didn't want to leave himself fully open to being hit with something that was more punishing, more bruising than what he was throwing, man. Beterbiev is a wrecking ball, you know, and so he's fought a guy that can punch, and he didn't take those shots the greatest at the same time as well, too. So gonna be interesting to see how he handles David Morell. But since that fight, man, Hot Rod has been on a nice little win streak. You know, his most recent fight, he fought Sullivan Barrera, and 10-round fight, and he got the stoppage win in the last round. You know, things might have been different if we would have seen a prime Sullivan Barrera, because at that point, Barrera was 42 years old, coming off of a long layoff, coming off of a 3-fight losing streak. Nonetheless, a win is a win. So this is going to be a very interesting fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. So who wins? Before I give my pick on this fight, I have something real quick to share. You know, I'm always looking to bring more light, more value, more opportunities for the community. I've been working on a few different things in recent weeks to not just grow the channel, but as I said, to continue to provide as much value as I can to each of you in our community. With that being said, I got some exciting news to share. I'm happy to announce my partnership with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert. It's a great opportunity for you to join some of the best sports books to get the best odds and new user offer. All you have to do is head over to my dedicated page at signupexpert.com/thebreakdown to explore a selection of sports books tailored to your region, each with its own unique offerings. So if you want to place a bet this weekend and on this fight and beyond, check out the link to find the best options for you in your region. Every sign up does support the channel, and it helps the channel grow and to expand and to create more opportunities, not just for me, but for our community. You know, I'm always looking out for you guys as best as I can. You can easily find the link in the description below this videos moving forward. So get down there and check it out and find the best option for you. Now, let's get back to the video. I like Hot Rod, man. I think he's a very good fighter. He's got a lot of heart and he can box. Beterbiev's fight didn't work in his favor, and I thought against Marcus Brown, it was a close fight. I thought he should have won that fight. I thought it was close enough to give him the nod. But Brown was also catching him with that left hand with some quick counter shots. David Morell, to me, is a more complete fighter than Marcus Brown across the board to me. And while I think Hot Rod might win a couple of those early rounds early and will bring the fight to David Morell, I don't think he can take those shots from Morell consistently throughout this fight. I think he'll have a hard time keeping up with the speed, the quickness, the movement, and the angle changes from David Morell. Morell has good defense, man. I think his defense is underrated, but we haven't seen him tested yet. Is Hot Rod the one to put him to the test? He could be, but he also might not be, and I think he's going to have to work in moments. He's going to have to work his spots, and he's going to have to fight a very disciplined fight. You do not want to stay in the pocket against someone who is heavy-handed, who does have speed, who does have good timing, and who is looking to make a statement. This is his opportunity to dethrone and to slow up the fighter with a lot of momentum coming up, and he's looking to make a statement in this fight. Hot Rod has to stay disciplined. If he is not disciplined, I think he's going to find himself in trouble. But I like David Morell to win this fight by stoppage. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear from you. How do you think this one goes? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. Shout out to all the members holding down the membership section, man. I appreciate each of you. I don't always get to do all the suggested videos you guys suggest in the comment section below, but if you become a member, those suggested videos rise to the top, and I will do my best to get those done for you that week. Or if you'd like to become a member just to show love and to support the channel, man, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated as well. If you'd like support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below and on the screen. Any support, any donation goes towards the growth of this channel. It'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this time, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.